You asking me that question, Molly?
Yes, sir.
I hope so. I don't know if it'll be as good as Taylor Swift, but I hope so. Swagoo, Canty, is it just me? You asking me that question, Molly?
Yes, sir.
I hope so. I don't know if it'll be as good as Taylor Swift, but I hope so. Swagoo, Canty, is it just me? I mean, I have no problem. I'm looking forward to the show. I'm looking forward to it all. The issue I have is with the title, The Kingdom. After what we saw in the Super Bowl, wow, that title. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, I'm just asking. I'm just at the title, The Kingdom. I'm sure it's gonna be. I can't wait to watch it. I know the series gonna be great. ESPN, we do our thing with that. It's the title that I got an issue with right there.
Okay.
I mean,
Stephen A., I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm glad you brought up the Super Bowl, because that's really where I want to go when we're looking at the teams like Philly and KC. Which team's more likely to return to the Super Bowl? Swaggo, you kick this one off. You go ahead.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately, I heard Stephen A. already say the Eagles for me too. Look, the NFC there's less to go through. I still have a healthy respect for Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, and you just play the numbers. Like we've seen this era in which Patrick Mahomes is doing it, this is a high-level quarterback era, and he continues to beat these guys, but you just would think sheer numbers. At some point, somebody will get them and represent the AFC. I think the Eagles are still the best team in the NFC. I think the roster is still the best. I think the quarterback is perfect for what they do and playing at a high level, even though people don't want to give him credit. This young defense showed you what they could potentially be week in and week out. So I think the Eagles have the best chance. I think the Eagles still I think they'll be in position to get a first round bye. The Commanders obviously will be a challenge for them, I believe, if Jay Daniels continues to ascend. But Philly, to me, has the easier route because it's less wars and attrition in that conference, man.
Swagoo, everything you said about the Philadelphia Eagles is true, but I will counter with this. It's hard to eat when you're full. And you mentioned all the young guys on the defensive side of the ball for the Philadelphia Eagles. And make no mistake, that is the identity of that team. You're talking about second, third, fourth-year players. The worst thing that can happen to you in football and in life is for everybody to be patting you on the back and telling you how good you are. Your former coach, Nick Saban, used to always call it rat poison. Don't take the cheese. You remember hearing that from him and Bill Parcells? That's what it is.
Yo, coach Bill.
So while I believe in the sports character of Jalen Hurts, you still have to contend with those guys going through an entire offseason with already being crowned as the team to beat. So there is that element. Saquon Barkley, rushed for over 2,000 yards. That's not going to happen again. How do I know that? Because there have been 8 other running backs in NFL history to do that. In the following seasons, those guys have averaged 966 fewer rushing yards. So I'm not quite sure that we can have that same level of productivity from the Eagles year over year. I still think they're the team to beat in their division. I still think they're contenders. But if I got to pick between the two, I'm going to say the Kansas City Chiefs have a better chance of getting back there because confidence comes from demonstrated performance, and I've seen that group do it every single year.
Demonstrated performance? Philadelphia Eagles been in 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls. And they just
that ain't the same as 5 of the last 6. Stephen A., that ain't the same as 5 of the last 6.
Yo, are you a Janet Jackson fan? Are you a Janet Jackson fan? I still am to this very day. What have you done for me lately? Okay? I'm thinking about the last 3 years. Don't give me the last.
Life's an adventure, and the 2025 Honda Ridgeline is built for all of it. Whether it's
last 5 to 6 years, how about the last 3? Eagles been in 2 of them. Both them and the Kansas City Chiefs got titles to show for it. I'm going to go with that. That's number 1. Number 2, the road to prosperity is a bit more difficult in the AFC, in my estimation. That's what I'm looking at. Can we sit here honestly, CC and Swagoo, and say that there's any excuse whatsoever outside of the Herculean excellence of a Patrick Mahomes? Can we honestly say there's a legitimate excuse for the Baltimore Ravens not to be coming out of the AFC for the Super Bowl this year with what they got on their squad? They loaded. They loaded. We saw Buffalo and what Josh Allen could do. We know what Cincinnati could do offensively and how they could put up buckets like we just said. We can't summarily dismiss Denver right now with the way that they're looking, how elite their defense is expected to be. You got Harbaugh with the Chargers. You got C.J. Stroud and them brothers in Houston. I mean, the road in the AFC is no joke. That's what I'm looking at. And I'm saying, I look at that compared to the Eagles and what they have. I'm like, why would I say can't?
What does bust mean if either of the Kansas City Chiefs or Baltimore Ravens don't get to the Super Bowl?
Well, first of all, I appreciate you defining it because we do this question all the time on shows. And like, what does that mean? What does bust mean? So you would say that Buffalo would be in danger of a head coaching change if they don't make the Super Bowl? That's
we think
the
it's
premise.
on the table.
Interesting. I have never at any time heard any dissatisfaction from inside that building with Sean McDermott. I think they feel like he has built a culture there where, it was 17 years they hadn't gone to the playoffs until he got there. So I think he gets some leeway. I think the answer would probably be like, what's it look like? Do they have a really great year and just fall short against the Chiefs in a painful loss again? It feels like that'd be a tough reason to fire a head coach.
But 0-5 against the Chiefs?
Yeah, but like they beat them every year in the regular season. It's not like they can't do it, right?
But they can't do it in the playoffs.
Right, but they haven't done it, right? And they missed a kick a couple of years ago. Like they feel like they're right there. That if they keep, and if you look at their offseason, what they do, they gave out extensions. They didn't go out and make big changes. They believe that their program is good and can get where they need to go. The Chiefs are on one of the all-time runs, and they just keep getting them. I think they're staying the course in Buffalo, and I think they should. I mean, I think there's plenty of evidence to support the idea that one of these years will get them.
Dan, what's the information that you're getting around the Shedeur Sanders injury and how that impacts the quarterback competition?
He has an oblique muscle injury suffered in practice. He will not practice today, and the Browns say it's unlikely he'll play in this weekend's preseason game. Now, for a guy that's been fourth on the depth chart all off-season trying to move up, obviously it's a setback in terms of that. The Browns have had injuries to every one of their quarterbacks except for the 40-year-old Joe Flacco. And I think by definition that makes him the favorite to start week one, just because the other guys aren't going to be up to speed. They won't have had enough reps to move up that depth chart. So the question for Shedeur at this point is, how soon can he get back to practice, and can he continue to do the work that he's been doing that they like, and advance the way they want him as a young quarterback to advance in their program? And does he get to a point at some point this season where he becomes an option to start for them?
Graz, let's turn our attention to a team that we sometimes talk about, the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
Yeah. Some of my favorite Sunday moments are watching the post-game Jerry presser with Graz in the background smiling at what he's hearing.
Just the concept of it, like the fact that it's even happening. That's what always gets me. Like the head coach hasn't talked yet. And the owner just stands outside the locker room and everybody just, it's amazing.
I'm now getting to that point that you're at and you've been at covering this team for years where I'm like thoroughly entertained by it. CC said today, probably around August 23rd, 24th, you get a secondary wave of push for the Netflix special when they sign Micah. What is your guesstimate as to when they do that?
2027? I think that when they sign Micah, like to a long-term contract extension, I don't think there's been any movement on that front at all. I think the Cowboys are dug in on their position, which is they thought they had a deal agreed to in the spring. And if he wants to take that deal, awesome. They're happy to do it. They feel like it was more than fair. And if he doesn't, he's under contract. They can franchise him in 26. They can franchise him in 27. They've done it before. Dak Prescott played on a franchise tag and was set to play on a second one when they got a last-minute deal done. So I think my sense of it is the Cowboys feel like he knows what we're willing to do. It's up to him whether he wants to say yes or play this thing out.
Wait, I just follow up on that. I want to make sure I understand. Are you saying in this moment right now, I don't want to put words in your mouth, that it's more likely he's on the franchise tag than it is he's extended after this year?
What I'm saying is the Cowboys seem to me to be of the mind that that's his decision. That they have made an offer.
He's choosing to not take an extension.
That they have, again, this is... Jerry has been out and said this, right? That he felt like they had agreed to a deal. I think my sense of it is the Cowboys believe that deal is still there for Micah if he wants it, and that it's more than fair. But if he wants to go back and forth on it, they feel like we've already done that, so we're not going back down that road.
Gross, feet to the fire. Do you think Michael Parsons will be out there September 4th when they play the Eagles?
Yes, because look, he's going to make $21 million this year if he does nothing, right? Like that's the 5th-year option number. So 21, 22, whatever it is. Yeah, you giving up 1/18 of that to make this point?
But he doesn't have to give it up, Gross. He's got a back injury.
Well, that's true, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, if he can pass a team physical, I mean, I guess that's always the push-pull on that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess if he wants to play it out like that, that could change the Cowboys' mind. Maybe he's calling their bluff as much as they're calling his. But this is a situation where it's about who blinks first, and the Cowboys feel like they hold more cards.
We're talking with Dan Graziano, ESPN senior NFL reporter here on Unsportsmanlike, presented